Hi students, now we are going to see about the material selection process in the module 1. Okay, the material selection process is very important as we are going to do the product with the help of the material what we are going to select. So how the process to be what type of materials we have to select, and material selection there are what is the sequence to be followed, or what is the important things we have to consider for the material selection for the design. So one is performance characteristics and process characteristics and environmental profile and business considerations. So these are all the very important things we are going to consider in the material selection for the design. So the performance characteristics is the properties what already we have seen. One is the stability, what is the stiffness, roughness, toughness, all the things which is the characteristics. It depends upon the performance requirements. So the processing, it depends upon the components. It depends upon the characteristic where it is going to be worked out. So the environmental issues and the life cycle of the entire product, okay, we have to check it. So the impact of the product, where it is there, how it is functioning, what is the importance. So all the things we have to check, and according to that the material should be selected. The what is the requirement for the material is, what is the type of performance is required. So then the second one is the chief business consideration of the effects. So what is the business consideration? So finally we have to go for the cost of the material. It's considered both the purchasing cost and the cost of making the product into a part. So the purchasing cost is very important, because any product we are selling, finally after the product manufactured, the cost which is involves in the purchasing to the process, and finally you are going to send. So that is also to the economy of the material also to be considered here, and the cost of failed parts. So if the life cycle, finally what will happen, some components, a component having so many parts getting assembled, and because of a one component failed, the entire component is going to be scratched, right? So how to replace the final products, and we can make it to disposing the materials after the end of use. So these all the things we have to consider for the selection of the material. Okay, so and the characteristics requirements we have seen, and the analytical common analysis methods for the material selections are there are some analytical process are there. So now there, with the help of the analytical analysis through numerical methods and the methods which gives the proper guidance for selecting the materials. So the one of the materials is the cost versus performance and weighted property indices, the value analysis, failure analysis. These are all some common analysis which is followed in the industries for it. So cost per unit property method. One is the cost per unit property. Cost per one material. Okay, one product. If when it comes out, what is the material cost? What is the cost of the unit? So the material with a lower cost is preferable, and but it has some good strength. So the that is the cost per unit property. When the condition is satisfied, we can go for the selection of the material which is having a lower cost with a good strength. And this is the weighted property material which is having a property value index. We are giving some weightages for the materials. In this, each material requirements is assigned to certain weight depending upon the importance, not the weightage of kilos, weight as per physical weight. It depends upon the importance. We will give some weightage for the materials. That is the performance index. So the material with high performance index is optimum for the application. So for any application, which material is suitable? So what is the performance index of it? It depends upon the few past analysis we can get the data. And the thing is limits on properties. Okay, what is the limits? Well, a material is having some limits, right? So it should have a lower limit or upper limit. It's a limit on properties. So what we want and what is the proper limit of the property, according to that we can choose it. So lower limit, upper limit, and a target value what we need. So here by selecting the properties of this, which uh, material will optimize, which material is coming under this category, we can choose for this final component selection. So now some selecting material, like example, insulating material for a cable, electrical cable. So insulating material in the sense what, it should not conduct electricity, isn't it? So when, and it should heat dissipation factor should be there. And this is there are some properties when we are going for selecting a material for insulation. Some dielectric strength, the insulating resistance, the dissipation factors, and the thermal expansion due to the flow of current, heat, temperatures. It can be the, what is the expansion ratio, all the things. First we have to list it out, and which is having the limit is, what limit we require. According to that, with the material which consists of this property, we can select it. So the effect of material, if suppose if you in mechanical, if you take a roof truss, for we are making roofs, right? And the roofs truss are very important. For the truss, what is the material we have to make it? We have to select materials should have a high strength and high elastic modules and low density, because it's weightage, mass per, okay, density is a, it depends upon the weights. So it should have a density is a low density, and it should be a low cost. So then these are all the examples how to select a material with a weighted property, and the limits of property methods. And in the next video we are going to see about the guidelines for manufacturability. What are the guidelines for manufacturability?